extra time.
Obviously, you guys have had time to discuss, reflect on yesterday's game. What's come out of that, and what are your reflections now?
Look, naturally it's disappointing to lose a game, isn't it? And to have got ourselves into a position which was ahead of the rate and ahead of the game. Really, we would have liked to have got over the line. That's the bottom line of it. But like you say, it's the reflections of it and how we go about getting better. And everyone will have gone away last night hurting. Because it's not a nice feeling losing a cricket game, and reflected, and then we've got training tomorrow to implement those things that we can get better at.
Owen, talking after the game, say that you can have the best game plan in the world, but if you don't sort of think on your feet during it, key situations, it's not necessarily going to get you over the line. Is that the biggest thing to come out of yesterday's game?
Look, I think our game plan has been very good over the last 4 years and has got us to where we're at with our one-day cricket. And I don't think even yesterday we did a huge amount wrong. There was key, like you just mentioned, there was key periods that we just didn't capitalise on. And whether that be for a number of different reasons, individuals capitalising on those key moments, and we lost the key moments in the game. So like I mentioned, people will have gone away last night and thought about that to then put into practice things that we can get better at. We're obviously playing at the same ground. It'll be you would think a similar kind of wicket, and it'll be about action in those things that we can get better at.
And I know as a team, you guys have said that, look, you want to be tested on this tour. You want to be put into tough situations, especially with the World Cup in a couple of years in mind over in India. With that in mind, then, is this a good scenario for you guys to find yourselves in right now?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's another building block towards that. We spoke about building blocks for the 2019 World Cup, putting ourselves in different circumstances and situations, and coming out the other end of that, being better players. And like you say, it will test us again, and it's not going to be the only challenge over the next period of time that we're going to have and come up against. You guys know that we're missing a few of the guys, and it's an opportunity for people to come in and play in different roles, but also implement the skills that potentially other players that are resting have within the team. Because if for whatever reason they're injured, or whatever reason it would be that there's an injury to someone that's currently playing and someone else needs to come in and play, then you need to have the options.
And what about your own form as well? Because it's been a tough few weeks, but you seem to come back with a bang yesterday. I know you'd have liked to have brought up 3 figures, but it was a good knock nonetheless.
Yeah, I've been pretty happy, mate. Like, to be honest with you, I was happy in the T20s, the runs that I scored in there, batting at number 4 and contributing, and being there at the end was in 2 of the games was really pleasing for me. And then obviously first time since September, I think it was. I think Australia was the last ODI, so being back at the top of the order, naturally, yes, I'd like to have got 3 figures, but I think it also says where we are as a group of players, that we're not being ultra selfish with everything as well. Like you're trying to take the game on, you're trying to take the game forward, and that's the most important part of it. So from a personal level, I'm happy with how I'm playing, happy with how I'm moving. I'm striking the ball as well as I have been, and yeah, hopefully that continues.
And a final one from me, Johnny. It's difficult when there's so much international cricket on. I know Chris has got to balance resting players with keeping the guys in form in the side. But does it help that you have had a few weeks across all forms of cricket in the side now? Because you played well in Sri Lanka and obviously had a rest, and then you come back in different conditions. Like I said, it's a difficult juggling act, isn't it?
It's very difficult. I mean, from January the 2nd until now, there's been 10 days, I think, that I had at home. And then we're across the board. If you take before Christmas, for instance, from September when we left, when we went into the bubble at Manchester, and up until Christmas, and then obviously there was a couple of weeks at Christmas that we had off on January the 1st. So it's tough being away. There's no qualms about it, and people are going to need rest. It's not as easy as just turning up and playing cricket. You've got a lot of different aspects to be taken into account. Living on a certain floor of a hotel all the time, not being able to leave the hotel to go for a walk or have any of your own space in some ways, to nip to the coffee shop or go for the hour of exercise that you get in England, coupled with being away from people's families and everything. It's tough, and that break that people are getting at certain points through the winter has been important for people's mental health and physical, because we all know the amount of cricket that there is coming up and the schedule that we have got. We're only seven months away from a World Cup, coupled with, off the back of that, an Ashes, and then a West Indies tour off the back of that next winter. So, and that's without even mentioning anything to do with the English summer. So it's not an easy thing scheduling in when people may get a slight break.
Hey Johnny, I was reading you average over 50 at the top of the order in ODI cricket, striking it better than a runner ball. What is it about the 50 over format that suits your game so much?
I think it's something that just being able to strike the ball. I think that's the playing good cricket shots, good solid strong cricket shots is the biggest thing, and almost going at it with a free mind, being able to stand at the other end and just watch the ball and trust your instincts is the bit that I've taken from it over the last few years. Trust yourself and trust your instincts on it.
And as a man that's batted from everywhere from 1 to 7, how important has it been that when you come and play ODI cricket, you know that it's you and Jason at the top of the order? How much does that help with your preparations?
Yeah, it helps a lot. Having some stability in where you're going to be batting is important, because you're able to prepare for that. You're able to come into the one-day series knowing potentially your game plan, knowing where you're going to be and how you can go about it, and the challenges that the opposition may throw at you.
Great. And how much did England miss Joe Root at number 3 yesterday? Well,
I think that any side in the world would miss Joe Root. It's not a surprise, bearing in mind the average is 50 in that format. So, look, I think that it's a good opportunity for people to come into the side and play a different role. Yesterday happened. We learn from that. But at the same time, if for whatever reason Joe's not around, we need to be good enough to adapt, and we are good enough as a team, as a batting unit, to get over the line. For whatever reason, yesterday we didn't, and like I mentioned earlier, that will have hurt the guys, and we'll be going into practice tomorrow trying to implement those skills in order to get us across the line, should that be the case in the next ODI.
Hit the subscribe option and the bell icon to get all the exclusive sports videos on Extra Time.